Harley Davidson, please build those beautiful motorcycles in the USA, please, okay? Don't get cute with us. Don't get cute. They don't realize the taxes are coming way down. They don't realize that yet. Spend a lot of time with them. Build them in the USA. Your customers won't be happy if you don't, I'll tell you that.
Moments ago, Donald Trump unleashed a fiery statement against Harley Davidson, leaving everyone in disbelief. And trust me, Trump, known for his blunt takes on corporate America, didn't hold back. Watch how he took aim at the motorcycle icon, accusing it of betraying the US for millions.
So I was disappointed in Harley, because I like Harley, and I was disappointed that they would be moving some of their operation to another country. I don't like that. Now, no president has ever said that before, because I guess you're not supposed to say it. But I can say it. I'm disappointed in Harley Davidson. I don't like them leaving this country.
It all started when whispers in political and industrial circles suggested growing tension between Trump and Harley Davidson. Harley Davidson has long been celebrated as a symbol of American freedom, but Trump's latest remarks have raised questions about whether the company still embodies the spirit of Made in the USA. Trump's frustrations reportedly began when the company announced plans to move parts of its production out of the US. Harley justified the move by citing rising tariffs and supply chain challenges. But for Trump, it was seen as a betrayal of American workers. This frustration reached its boiling point when he publicly called the company out, sending shockwaves through the business world. And believe me, it's gonna get much worse.
There are some people who are saying that your tariff threats threaten to plunge the economy into a recession. Harley Davidson announced that it's moving a plant to Thailand. You've been very critical about that.
I was going to do that. They announced it earlier this year. So Harley Davidson is using that as an excuse. And I don't like that, because I've been very good to Harley Davidson, and they used it as an excuse. And I think the people that ride Harleys are not happy with Harley Davidson, and I wouldn't be either. But mostly companies are coming back to our country. I was the one that explained to Harley about 100% tax in India, where they had a tariff of 100%, and I got it down to a much lower number. I think it's 50%, which is far too much.
Trump highlighted what he referred to as the hypocrisy of Harley's global strategy. Reports surfaced showing that while Harley continues to market its bikes as typical American, the company has quietly been shifting significant portions of production to Europe, Asia, and even Mexico. We have seen this before, where John Deere decided to move its production to elsewhere. Trump then reacted like this.
As you know, they've announced a few days ago that they're going to move a lot of their manufacturing business to Mexico. I'm just notifying John Deere right now. If you do that, we're putting a 200% tariff on everything that you want to sell into the United States.
Tensions between Trump and Harley Davidson didn't emerge overnight. The seeds of discord were sown in 2018 when the company announced plans to move some production overseas in response to reprisal EU tariffs on American motorcycles. These tariffs were themselves a consequence of Trump's decision to impose steel and aluminum tariffs earlier that year. While Harley executives framed the move as a pragmatic business decision, it created a rift between the company and President Trump, who had positioned himself as a champion of American manufacturing. And that's when the real nightmare began for Harley Davidson.
Across the state.
From local cheesemakers to Harley Davidson, here's what's happening so far. President Trump imposed a tariff on steel and aluminum coming into the U.S. So the European Union increased tariffs on motorcycles exported from the U.S. As a result, this morning, Harley announced that it will shift some of its production of motorcycles to factories overseas. And a little over an hour ago, President Trump tweeted this, surprised that Harley Davidson, of all companies, would be the first to wave the white flag. I fought hard for them, and ultimately, they will not pay tariffs selling into the EU, which has hurt us badly on trade, down $151 billion. Taxes, just a Harley excuse. Be patient.
The brewing dissatisfaction extended beyond Trump. American workers in Harley's domestic plants voiced concerns about potential layoffs, while unions accused the company of turning its back on the very workforce that had built its legacy. Harley's justification that moving production overseas was necessary to maintain its competitive edge did little to soften these fears. For Trump, who had campaigned on bringing jobs back to the US, this was more than a business decision. It was a direct challenge to his vision of economic nationalism. But that wasn't everything.
Harley explains shifting work overseas was the, quote, only sustainable option to make its motorcycles accessible to customers in the EU. The Harley Union calls the move a slap in the face, saying, quote, will Harley use any excuse to ship jobs overseas? Does Harley even understand what Made in America means?
The public reaction was anger and support of Trump's statements. Social media platforms lit up with posts from Harley owners and enthusiasts. Many expressed disappointment and called for the company to reconsider its strategy. "I bought Harley because it stood for something. This changes everything," one Twitter user posted. Others rallied behind Trump with comments like, "Finally, someone who stands up for the US citizens." On the other side, critics accused Trump of oversimplifying the complexities of global trade and unfairly targeting a company navigating a challenging economic landscape. Still, the uproar underscored the deep connection between Harley Davidson and its American heritage, and how far-reaching the impact of this confrontation could be. Trump's call-out also cast a spotlight on Harley Davidson's business model that has long been under strain, and Trump's remarks only brought these challenges into sharper focus. Over the past 2 decades, the company has faced mounting pressure from competitors producing lighter, more affordable bikes tailored to younger riders. Simultaneously, Harley's core demographic, middle-aged affluent Americans, has been shrinking, leaving the company struggling to maintain its dominance in the motorcycle market.
I'm going to put a 100, 200, 2,000% tariff. They're not going to sell one car into the United States.
We're going to make Detroit great again. When foreign leaders and CEOs call me up to complain about our tariffs, my answer would be very simple. Build it in America.
Mercedes-Benz, BMW, all of the different Volkswagen, millions and millions of cars. They don't want anything from us. We have deficits that are crazy. And we're not going to have them anymore. We're going to put tariffs on them.
It's a perfect application for a lot, but not for everybody. Some want gasoline propelled, and we have a lot of gasoline right under there. You know the story with hydrogen. It's great until it blows up, in which case you're not recognized.
In an effort to adapt, Harley launched initiatives such as the Livewire, its first electric motorcycle. While innovative, these moves were met with mixed reactions. Traditionalists viewed them as a departure from the brand's identity, while others questioned whether Harley could effectively compete in the emerging EV market. While this strategy has helped Harley remain competitive, it has also fueled criticism that the brand is prioritizing profits over its American identity. Industry experts argue that Harley's decision to shift some production elsewhere is a response to tariffs imposed during Trump's presidency.
And right now, as we speak, large factories just started are being built across the border in Mexico. So with all the other things happening on our border, and they're being built by China to make cars and to sell them into our country. No tax, no anything. The United Auto Workers ought to be ashamed for allowing this to happen. And the leader of the United Auto Workers should be fired immediately. And every single auto worker, union and non-union, should be voting for Donald Trump, because we're going to bring back car manufacturing, and we're going to bring it back fast.
Now questions remain about how Harley Davidson will respond to Trump's destroying remarks. Will the company double down on its global strategy, or will it make moves to reaffirm its American roots? For now, Trump's fiery criticism has forced a reckoning not just for Harley, but for other companies navigating the fine line between global competitiveness and domestic loyalty. One thing is certain, this confrontation has left an indelible mark on Harley Davidson's image, and its response will likely shape its legacy for years to come.
Electric cars will kill more than half of U.S. auto jobs and decimate the suppliers. They're being decimated already. Decimate the suppliers, and it's going to decimate your jobs, and it's going to decimate more than anybody else